Hi everyone, in today's video, I'm gonna go over 3 of the biggest mistakes to avoid in your marriage green card interview, so stick around. Hi everyone. So when you apply for a green card through marriage, in many cases, you have to attend an interview before an immigration officer. The interview is one of the most important parts of your case. At the interview, the immigration officer is going to check to make sure that your case is actually legitimate, that your marriage is real, and that everything about your case checks out. So again, it's one of the most important parts of the case. In this video, I'm going to go over 3 of the biggest mistakes to avoid at the marriage green card interview. If this is your first time here, my name is Michael Ashoori and I'm an immigration lawyer based in Los Angeles, California. At my law firm, we focus exclusively on immigration law. We represent clients from all over the world and we regularly post videos to keep you up to date with what's going on in immigration. So if you haven't yet subscribed to our channel, go ahead and hit the subscribe button now. Also, make sure to hit that thumbs up button so that YouTube knows to share this video with a wider audience. So let's get started. Okay, so big mistake number 1 is not bringing the correct documents with you to the interview. When you show up to your marriage-based green card interview, you have to come with certain documents. These documents are actually specified on your interview notice. And just to give you an example of some of the documents that are required, some are, for example, your original birth certificate, your original marriage certificate, and the documentation showing that you're in a bona fide marriage. So pictures with one another, your lease agreement with both of your names on it, your utility bills, and all of those other documents that you originally submitted with your case that show that you're in a valid marriage. So those are just some of the documents that you usually have to bring with you to your marriage green card interview. Now again, this big mistake that you want to avoid is not bringing the correct documents with you to the interview. If you don't show up with the proper documents, your interview could be postponed and it can cause a lot of problems for your case. So make sure to bring the correct documents with you to your marriage green card interview. Okay. Big mistake number 2 is not preparing for the types of questions that can be asked of you. So when you go into a marriage green card interview, there are a ton of different kinds of questions that they can ask of you. Sometimes in a marriage green card interview, the immigration officer will ask you something called the Stokes questions. Now, the Stokes questions are designed to be able to tell whether you guys are actually in a real marriage. So for example, they'll ask, what did your spouse have for breakfast? What color is your pillowcase? And various other tricky questions like that. Now, if you're not prepared for these types of questions, you're probably gonna get nervous. You're probably gonna guess or make up some sort of an answer. And that can be a very big problem because sometimes in these marriage green card interviews, they separate the spouses and they interview each spouse separately. And if your answers to these questions are different, it can trigger a heightened suspicion on behalf of the immigration officer. So what you want to do first and foremost is to prepare for the types of questions that can be asked of you. The more prepared you are, the less nervous that you'll be during the interview. In addition, make sure not to guess or lie on any of these answers. If you do not know the answer, let the immigration officer know that you do not know. Guessing will not do you any good because if you guess and you guess incorrectly and your answer is conflicting with the answer that your spouse gave, this can be a big problem for your case. So again, big mistake number 2 that you want to avoid is not being prepared for the types of questions that could be asked of you. Now, a quick point that I want to mention is that there are a ton of resources available online for free to show you what types of questions immigration officers will usually ask. So a big help would be just to go over some of those questions just so you can prepare. Also, you should know some of the basic information about your spouse. For example, their birthday, the number of siblings that they have, and so on. These kind of questions are very typical in immigration interviews, and having these answers down will be very helpful for you. And lastly, Big mistake number 3 is rambling and not answering the question that the immigration officer asks you. So sometimes at these marriage-based green card interviews, people are understandably nervous. This interview, as we talked about, is very important for the success of their case, and so they're understandably nervous. So when the immigration officer asks them a question, they'll feel the need to answer above and beyond what's being asked of them. For example, the immigration officer might ask, "So what's your address?" And rather than just saying, "My address is 123 Main Street," they'll give the address history of the last 5 years. From 2017 to 2018, I lived at this address. From 2018 to 2019, I lived at this address. For 2 weeks, I lived here. They'll basically go above and beyond to answer questions that weren't even asked of them. This can annoy your immigration officer and ultimately won't do you any good. So when you're in the interview, make sure to keep your answers to the point. Answer the question that's asked of you. Do not ramble. Do not answer questions that are not asked of you. Let the immigration officer conduct the interview and ask the questions that they intend to ask, and basically let them run it. You want to make sure to avoid rambling. So there you have it. Those are 3 of the biggest mistakes that you want to avoid in your marriage green card interview. To do a quick recap, mistake number 1 is not bringing the appropriate documents with you to the interview. Big mistake number 2 is not preparing for the types of questions that are going to be asked of you. And big mistake number 3 is rambling and not answering the questions that are being asked of you. Now that you know these mistakes, you can prepare yourself so that you can avoid making these mistakes during your marriage green card interview. I hope you guys found this video very helpful. If you know anybody that needs to watch this video, feel free to share this video with them. Ultimately, we're making these videos to empower you with knowledge. Again, if you like this video, please make sure to hit that thumbs up button. It really helps us out. If you haven't yet done so, make sure to subscribe to our channel. If you have any questions whatsoever, put them in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this video, and I'll see you on the next one.